guys, I'm super excited to have two of our valued tribe members on with us today to tell their incredible success story. I am super duper proud of these two folks because wow. They have been, number one, have been really tribe at heart. They really understand what Amazon Seller Tribe is about. And they entered into that vision wholeheartedly. And today we're going to celebrate with them a great achievement. But before we get to that moment where we celebrate and, you know, I give you the virtual cheer and you hear the crowd go wild and the balloons and all the confetti go. And you're just going to have to pretend that you see that, Laurie and John, because we can't do this in person right now. It's very frustrating for us. But anyway, guys, we want to welcome today John and Laurie Sheelick, and they live in the tiniest state in the history of ever. Mm-hmm. And I think it's still in the United States, isn't it?
Last time we checked.
Yeah.
The big state of Delaware.
Woohoo.
And woo, yeah, woo, go Delawareans. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, go Delawareans. All right. Because we say Missourians here, so I suppose we can say Delawareans. Yeah. All right. So guys, just let's just start by tell me, kind of frame up what your life looks like. Tell me a little bit about your life. You know, what does it look like living in the Sheelick household? You know, what's going on there with you, your family, your children, your duties and responsibilities. And then we'll get to how you came into Amazon selling space.
Okay. We have a happy, refer to our kids as a baseball team because we have 9 kids. And so 4 of them, the older 4, have moved out. They're adults. And we still have 5 at home. And of those 5, this school year, we still have 3 that are homeschooling age. So we homeschooled them the whole way through. So the last 20 plus years, we've been homeschooling. So yeah. It was an advantage, honestly, this year when COVID hit, that wasn't really a major disruption for us because it was something that we had already had in place.
Right. You had already built your life around that. So your systems were in place for that. You know, you're kind of one of the lucky ones, so to speak. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I was up to that point, pretty much the sole breadwinner, and working in corporate America, primarily in marketing and advertising as a salesman. And now that COVID is pretty much shut down a lot of things, especially for the small family businesses that I was calling on and servicing. I can't imagine where my world, we say this all the time, we can't imagine where our world would have been if God had not directed our paths to come onto where we're at today on the Amazon platform. It's one of the only few thriving platforms that are out there where you can make a decent dollar.
Well, right. And the nice thing is you guys are already gotten your feet on the ground. You guys had already had a foundation in Amazon selling before the COVID hit. So this gave you some advantages, but at the same time, anybody can start. I mean, somebody could start right now, couldn't they, in selling on Amazon and still achieve some success.
Absolutely. You know, you can pick up selling on Amazon at any time, regardless of, I mean, it just goes to show that regardless of what's happening in the world and with the economy, that this is still a great place to go to start.
So did you guys have a business background? Now you were in the professional community, John, but did you guys have business ownership, entrepreneurship background coming into Amazon selling?
So I did. My dad was an entrepreneur. He had his own business and he was in the vending machine business. And so after I had gotten out of college, I had spent the next 10 years working for him, and obviously very close to the owner. I was really showed, the back end of how a business runs. And, we liken Amazon, believe it or not, we make the parallels to a vending machine because one of the reasons why my dad went into vending was he didn't want to have a accounts receivable problem.
Come on.
And so you got to put your money in before you get your product. And Amazon guarantees that when you buy product and you put it up there for sale, you're going to get paid for that product. So I kind of like say this is the vending machine of today.
Well, isn't that the truth, really? I mean, a lot of people don't get the value in that, but you buy something and know your numbers, know your bestseller rank, know your keep chart, know the sales history, try to look at that, understand what's happening on the Amazon platform, but you list it, you're going to sell that thing. You may not sell it at the price you're dreaming of, or the price you even target at the moment you send it in, but you're going to sell that dude, right?
Yes, and you're not going to spend time in, your accounts aren't going to go into collections and spending time chasing people for money. Even if you're just getting back your cost, you're still getting your money back. And it's automatic that's going to happen. And that's a huge, for businesses that run accounts receivable, that's a huge piece that we don't have to deal with as Amazon sellers.
And I think to tag along with what she's saying, because I came from the field in the perspective of communications and marketing. There is no platform in the world that can match the volume that Amazon commands as far as attention getting. At any given minute, you can be selling the most obscure widget that there is out there, and somebody in this world is on Amazon right now trying to find that same thing. So you can't do that with any type of other, you can't run a business and market yourself with that same kind of volume like you can with an Amazon situation.
Well, it makes it all the more important to understand the power of what we really have in our hands, the opportunity that we really have. Now, back up just a second and tell me what year you started selling on Amazon.
So we started in 2016 part-time. So when I say part-time, I mean 20 hours a week at the most. Yeah, because I had 5 kids that I was still homeschooling at that time.
You were up to your armpits and alligators, like we say.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were all your alligators.
Yes.
So you started in 2016. That was really, I started in 2014, and we were hearing in 2014, 15, and 16, people saying, arbitrage is dead. If you're doing arbitrage, you might as well hang it up. You're not ever going to make a living selling on Amazon. Did you guys hear those kinds of things?
Yes. And that's one of the things that kind of was a challenge for us, because when we started, we didn't focus just on arbitrage, and we were distracted. We tried to do wholesale. We tried to do private label, and we did part-time for 2 hours, and we really weren't feeling a lot of traction in any one direction.
So a lot of people think, well, okay, arbitrage is kind of a fly-by-night model, but we have so many people in Amazon Seller Tribe who are making fantastic incomes on this fly-by-night model, right? That's been around now and continues to only get more powerful. So I'm going to jump to the punchline if I can, because I want to make sure that people listen to you today. And sometimes until people hear sales figures, they're like, I don't know if they're really doing anything or not. Maybe they're selling $5,000 a month on Amazon, or, maybe they're dinking around with it. But guys, you just reached a really awesome milestone in your sales, and I want you to tell me about that.
So last Sunday, when we opened up the app and our year-to-date sales, we hit $500,000. And yes, we were excited.
Balloons, confetti, the crowd goes wild, cheering. Yeah. So for us in Amazon Seller Tribe, we call that the purple lanyard seller level, the $500,000 level. When you get to a $500,000 level, you have a tiger by the tail, don't you?
Yes.
And I will tell you this, for some people, they may not understand this, but you guys, I want you to deep dive on it if you can a little bit. But and you're about to find the truth of this. It's going to be easier for you to go from 500,000 to $1 million than it was for you to go from 10,000 to your first 100,000. And let's deep dive on that just a little bit and tell me some of the struggles that take place in that move from, like, maybe 10,000 to 100,000 or 10,000 to 50,000. Um, uh, the kind of struggles that families with children have, the kind of struggles that people growing in entrepreneurship have.
Well, I know for us, the first thing is just confidence in ourselves that we can do it. Um, when the first couple of years when we were part-time, we were still questioning, asking ourselves, can we really do this? Can we really make a full-time income? Can we really, get to a higher level than where we are now? And so we definitely had to work through that. And we did, because we ended up finding we ended up finding out that we needed to hang around other sellers, and we needed to get educated, really, and we needed to focus on one model at a time.
Because you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right. And the more you're around other sellers, you pick up and you're like, hey, I didn't know that. I asked a question in the Q4 war room yesterday. I was like, I asked a question like, I didn't know that. I've been selling for 7 Q4s now. This is my 7th Q4. I didn't know that. It's so important to hang around people who are giving truthful, authentic, and positive information as well, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, if you go on the internet at any given time, there's thousands of voices out there that are trying to tell you this is the way that you need to sell on Amazon. And a lot of them, they're right behind the 8 ball as everybody else is. I mean, they really haven't the experience or have been gone through the trial by fire. That's part of the focus that we were able to garner, was the fact that we got in front of people such as yourself and Gary, that it gave us the focus, and it gave us a target, if you will, to start to shoot for, set by people that had been through the same trials and tribulations that you guys have, that we were going through at that time. So yeah, it definitely helped. So
I'm thinking of a very powerful truth that says the blind lead the blind and they both fall in the ditch, right? Mm-hmm. So it's in some places, a lot of voices, as you say out there, John, it really is still the blind leading the blind. It's somebody who doesn't know what they don't know, trying to answer a question somebody else is asking, and I constantly want to go, oh no, I cringe, and I'm like, oh. And then I feel so grateful for what's happened in Amazon Seller Tribe, because we really do get to have the information to help people move forward in a way that builds a strong foundation for a massive business. Now you're at 500,000. In another minute, I'm going to blink my eyes and you're going to be at 5 million. This is the kind of thing that happens. And we're seeing this happen in Amazon Seller Tribe, aren't you? You're seeing the people go from 500,000 to 1 million. Then the next thing you know, they're posting their numbers and they're at 2 million. And you're like, wait, I just saw you at 1 million, right?
Yeah. As the momentum increases, it goes faster. we have seen that.
Yeah.
It does, because you start to get your systems in place. You start to erase those fear-based places in your life where you're like, can I do it? Am I really an imposter? Or am I really an entrepreneur spinning a $500,000 business here?
Right.
Those kind of doubts start going away, don't they?
Right.
So what would you say, after the confidence in yourself was a big hurdle for you as you were building toward the $500,000 mark?
After getting a little bit more confident in ourselves, honestly, it was education. It was, putting in the time to really learn the tools, to learn the, how to set criteria, just to really learn the basics of the Amazon business. And, we just, one thing at a time, but it was intense. And honestly, it's the coaching program that helped us with that the most.
Right.
You know, we've
So for those of you who don't know, we do have, now it's kind of turned into biannual, so twice a year, a very intense, high intensity, high level coaching program that that our master coach, Gary Ray, has created. And he creates it especially for the group of people that he sees in Amazon Seller Tribe. So it's not just a one size fits all type of thing. Haven't you found that to be so, Laurie and John, as you've gone through the tribe coaching? It's
absolutely. We felt like Tribe One, the first level of coaching, you know, we were just discussing this the other day. It felt like we were standing at the bottom of a spiral staircase that went up. And as we went through that first level, when Tribe 2 started, okay, we were one level up.
Come on.
And the reason why we did Tribe 3 was because now we got Tribe 2 behind us, you know, then we had a Q4. So we have more experience, but our perspective has changed.
Exactly.
Because we're not down at the bottom level step anymore. You know, we've come up a level. And so at the end of Tribe 2, and then we've got a Q4, when Tribe 3 starts, now we have a whole new more perspective that we learn more, you know, each time you go through it.
The challenges never change, and they always stay the same. There's always challenges about finances. There's challenges about family life. There's challenges about where to get the next hot product or what kind of tool to get. That never changes. But as we kind of like rose through the tribes one year after another, we saw it from a different perspective of, we made those mistakes in the past, we had those successes in the past, we can build upon that. And that's why you can't step away from, like, you never achieve it, right? You never hit the end of the story, because tomorrow is going to bring a whole new set of challenges that we don't even know what to anticipate.
Exactly.
And you need that support that surrounds you. I'll say this as well. Very blessed, very fortunate. God put us in a situation where Laurie already had the know-how how to run a business. She had the ability to soak up an immense amount of information and that type of thing. I'm, on the other hand, not that kind of guy, but she's the brains, I'm the brawn, right? But what I was able to do, the one thing that I could really do to help support this family, and I encourage, if there are other couples that are out there that are hearing this, is that one of you really needs to take the lead. The other one, if at all possible, I was able to come into a position, even while I was still working in corporate America, and I did the dishes, I did the laundry, I did everything that I possibly could do, the shopping, the cooking, everything. And my family suffered tremendously because of it, let me tell you that. But what that did in essence was it freed her up, and it blessed our family, because the more that she could consume and put into action and not have to worry about all the day-to-day stuff. I helped out with homeschooling. I did everything that I possibly could. And now I'm sliding into, as our children are getting older, I can now slide out of all those responsibilities and now move into an area of being more hands-on with the business itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what you have said here, John, look, we need to camp here for a little bit, because what you have said is solid gold. Laurie is just nodding her head, because Laurie, you experienced how powerful that was.
Yes.
For him to take that harness off your neck of the daily duties, so you could deep dive into homeschooling yourself.
Right.
With the content that Gary Ray and our coaches were putting out in the Tribe coaching program.
Right.
And as that happened, you could literally feel yourself going up that next level. And John, don't you think it was easy for you to dive into those kinds of support duties because you saw how it was moving you guys forward?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was good I think I was more in tune with it. Yes. I think for most men, though, it might be even a higher and greater challenge. It breaks a lot of stereotypes for the man to step away from corporate America and the role and the position, the prestige, and all of the caveats that the professional world can provide you, and come home to nothing but family, dirty diapers, dirty dishes, all that stuff. The way culture currently is set up, we really don't support that man who has that kind of dream and vision and goal So if nothing else, I hope to inspire another man that might be listening, another husband, father figure, that type of thing, that they can, it's not, you don't do it for other people to toot your horn. You do it
Right.
because you know it's the right thing for your family.
Right.
It does set us up on a trajectory that we don't have to worry about, oh, I get laid off tomorrow. Gosh,
Come
I
on.
might get laid off
Come
tomorrow.
on.
Oh, they'll get laid off.
Come on. Come on. Come on. What a beautiful thing. I mean, it sets you up for ownership of your own success and doing it together. This was why we were so absolutely focused on the power of plus
Plus
ones.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys who don't know it, in Amazon Seller Tribe, we allow your plus one, your spouse or your business partner. Some of you have siblings, like myself and my sister are business partners together, and our business is one business. So it's not two businesses, but it's one business. And having a plus one in tune with Tribe and the information that's coming out as it's coming out, that sort of thing, can, it's so powerful. A helper,
Mhm.
a helper, a helpmeet, a helper that's good for you, right?
Yes.
And for Colleen and myself as siblings, we're like, we both ran our own households for 20 something and then 30 something years, right? And then now we're here together and we're running our business together. I know when to step back. I know when she's putting on Thanksgiving dinner, like, I know I'm to the side. That's the part where I get to the side. But when it's cleanup time, I can come in and do that. In the business, the same thing. There's certain things that she really excels at.
Mhm.
And I know, let her go with that, because why would I clog up that system? Because she's
Right.
good at that. Right. And then she does the same with me. And so there's a beauty in having a plus one that you say, that person is good at that. Let them excel in that area. John, you're
Mhm.
like, Lori is good at soaking up information and disseminating that information. Let her be the one that soaks up the information, disseminates the information to me. I'll be the one that takes action on it according to our goals for our family, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's the power of a plus one. And that's why in Amazon Seller Tribe, we're so passionate about comping into
Yeah.
Tribe, your plus one, because we know how powerful that can be. And you've achieved an amazing seller level because you're doing it with.
Amazon is a family affair for our family. It
Yeah.
really is. We haven't even mentioned that
Yeah.
the older kids that are still at home, guess what their part-time jobs are?
Come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Our main shipper is our 20-year-old son, and
Our
he
oldest
does
daughter.
it better than we do now. And yeah, one of our daughters was one of our buyers that works the
Come
lists
on.
for us. So
Come on.
yeah,
That's
One of the
awesome.
most rewarding things is that we can employ other people, whether it's our own
Buddy.
family or people outside of our family,
How powerful.
to join our journey. And just the one thing that I always wanted, because I had such an extensive amount of time in corporate America, and I could see how corporations treated their clients and how they viewed their clients. It's more of an account number than as an actual person. And I always told Laurie the entire time I was out there was, I really want to immerse myself into something where I can treat people with the dignity and respect that I wish that I was getting, or my customers were getting.
Right.
And now we've been blessed. We're in that area. We're able to actually bring people on board, and we have goals and visions and dreams for the immediate future where we can begin to grow this business, exponentially grow it, bring more people that value that kind of family business as well.
I think I hear what you're saying, how powerful it is. And you're growing a legacy business. You're growing a family business that, at some point you will replace yourself by your children. Your children will, you'll grow your business to such a place that you make yourself non-essential. And it's going to be them that step up to those essential positions. And it's going to be John and Laurie we see on the beach. It's going to be John and Laurie we see traveling over here, and having corporate phone calls with their kids and handing over a legacy business.
Yeah.
Really, once you get to this level, the next step, hey, don't worry about them. This is family. Don't worry about them, John.
The
Let
girls
them
are giggling in the background.
Let him go. Let him go.
Sorry about that.
You're just fine. That's the joy of working with and for and around family. I want to hear any kids that are laughing. I want to hear them laugh.
Yeah, that's a happy
but what a
household,
joy! What a joy! You and listen, the commute is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, love it.
No complaints.
No complaints about
Now,
it.
Laurie actually wishes I would leave the house sometimes anyway.
She hands you the phone and says, ABS, John.
Yeah. Time to
Always
go
be
do some RA.
It's time for you to get out. Well, what would you say to people who are starting their Amazon journey now and just, getting up on their little wobbly legs and all the things that that they're facing that they might not even know they're facing yet? What would you say to encourage them?
I would say that, surrounding yourself with people, relationships, connecting with the tribe, but, even just connecting to individuals in the tribe, that momentum will start to affect you. You will start to, tide rises all the ships together, right? And that momentum, we have definitely felt that, because that's where we started. Even though I had business experience, it was not a retail business
Right.
experience. And so it is possible, literally, from going from zero to being able to have the size of business that you want to have. And just surrounding yourself with people, there's relationships. Within those relationships come opportunities, whether they're learning opportunities, whether they're opportunities to help other people, all kinds of opportunities are in there, partnership opportunities. And that's just, to be part of a people that opportunities are available. It's great to have options because you don't ever have to feel like you're stuck.
Whoa, 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 whoa. How powerful to say that. It's great to have options because you never have to feel like you're stuck. There may be some people listening to this right now and they're like, I'm on this plateau. I'm like, I can't ever get past this. And one of the things they need to look at maybe is, who are you interacting with, engaging with? Have you opened up your life to share life together with someone else who may be up another level than you and could drop some gold nuggets or challenge you, or maybe even sometimes just say, you're okay, you're doing it fine, just do more of it. Right?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I was saying before, before we met you, Gay and Gary, we were listening to other voices that are out there, and it's so funny. You go onto YouTube to try to figure out how to get started in Amazon, much like maybe a lot of the people who are listening to this today. They've seen this where you've got the guy or the girl, they got all the green cash,
Right,
hey, I sold
right.
$100,000 in 5 minutes on Amazon, and they steal somebody's Ferrari to make them look like they drive the Ferrari. But it's not a race, it's a marathon. It's a process, it's a marathon. It's not something that you should set yourself up with expectations that by this time in a week I'll be making $1 million. But a lot of people, that's how they hype it. That's how they sell it. That's how they sell their courses. Right. But you guys were different. You spoke in a different way that really it attracted Laurie and I, because there was no way in the world we could run it at the speed that these other people were hyping their businesses. And you believed in steady and slow and growing this thing strategically and with respect to, you've got a family to support, and you can't be, giving all your hours and all your dollars to this business. There's got to be balance. There's got to be some kind of mindset here. So in that regard, I've encouraged people to consider, like, this is a marathon, and you may have to take baby steps, like our
That's
favorite
right.
fan Dave Ramsey says, you gotta take those baby steps to get started in the beginning. But at least you know that you're hearing voices from a group of people that believe in that same way. They're championing you and your family, and they agree that slow and steady is the best approach. And then once you get
And that's
started, like, who
right.
knows?
That you're not you're not forced to compete with someone else. It's not, your journey is not compared to someone else's journey, because how is that even possible? Nobody knows what it's like to live in John and Laurie's house and face the challenges that you have raising a baseball team
Right.
and not being paid professional baseball player wages. So
That's for sure.
nobody knows what that's like. Nobody knows what systems that you set in place for your own family to manage your own family. So it's not fair to compare. And at the same time, you were given a safe, healthy environment, positive environment where you could grow at the speed that worked for your life.
Right.
Yes.
That's exactly it. Yep.
Grow at the speed that, for some people, the speed that works for them is 0 to 1,000,000 in, like Paul and Monica, 0 to 1,000,000 in 363 days. Well, their situation is totally different.
Exactly.
It doesn't make their journey any less or more. It makes it their journey and their success.
Right.
Your journey and your success. Right now, 500,000, I know in the next blink of the eye, you're gonna pass 1,000,000 and forget to tell me. I would be personally insulted and upset. But this next level will come so fast because now you've got that foundation set.
Right.
And by the time you go through this Q4, you're going to be saying, hold on to your hat, kids. We're in the rodeo now. It's not a baseball game, it's a rodeo.
Yes.
You'll have a
Yes.
tiger by the tail for sure. I am so proud of what you guys have accomplished. I love how you support other tribe members too. You're constantly positive and cheering them on. And the entrepreneurial journey can be kind of lonely sometimes if you don't have people to go with, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I always want to make sure that here at Amazon Seller Tribe, we're here for each other. We can support each other.
Yeah.
In the, late night, if you post and you're feeling afraid or you're feeling concerned, or you're like, all of a sudden you ran into a glitch with Amazon, or Amazon changed horses in the middle of the stream, which they're famous for doing, you have access to the information. So
Yeah.
how did we find you in Amazon Seller Tribe? I can't remember.
So I was listening to, I hope I get his name right, Stephen Peterson.
Oh, Stephen
Pierce-
Peterson. Okay.
Yes, he was interviewing you.
I gotcha.
And we had joined in 2017, that Q4, it was something that was Q4 specific. And then of course we just, that experience was just so great. We had found our home, and that's when Tribe started then in 2018, the first one. So yeah, that's how we came across you.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for being such a positive support. And if Gary was here on the webinar right now, and I know he and his wife both tested positive for COVID, so they're struggling with a little bit of COVID symptoms, and then their shippers and preppers got tested positive. So they're having to do what needs to be done. But at the same time, if he were here, I know he would be delighted with your success, and he would be part of the big cheering squad, because he's been a big part of your success story, hasn't he?
Thank you.
Yes, he has.
We just, we want to thank you and Gary just for creating this group and supplying this atmosphere. I mean, we're in it long term. That's the way you guys look, and you have taught us to look through those glasses, look at the long term.
That's right.
And, we keep pushing forward.
Yeah,
So,
helping to
thank
build
you.
businesses that matter, right? Helping to create the most seven-figure sellers in the industry. And you at Purple Lanyard status are well on your way now to your coveted gold lanyard. And at the same time, creating a business that your family can work in, love, and value, and that you
Mhm.
can love and value your family, doesn't take away from them. Hopefully can enhance their lives. So love you guys and appreciate you so much. Thanks for jumping on with me today.
Thanks,
All
Kay.
right, you're welcome.
All right. Have a great time in Delaware.
We will.
Snowing? Is it snowing over there yet?
Just rain.
It's raining.
It just
Yeah.
rained. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, no snow here. Thank God for that. All right. Love and appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.